Yes, I can do that. Hi. Okay, so before I say anything, I was honestly shocked at how many of you didn't know that it was okay to move while trying to shift. Like, if you're uncomfortable or if you need to, like, scratch your nose or something, do it, move. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You don't need to start over or anything. I promise. I promise. Okay, moving on. Now, this one might be a little obvious, but you don't need to drink a ton of water. You don't need to drink any water if you don't want to. It's good to, but you don't need to. So, a lot of things that people in old shift talk would say that you had to do are actually just things that could possibly aid you in trying to shift, but are not required at all. They are optional, like the laying still and the drinking water. Those might help you, but they're not, mandatory. Same with the whole cleaning your room thing. You don't need to have a clean space to shift. You don't need to be necessarily super, super happy to shift. I've talked about that before. I feel like lots of people in old shift talk would be like, you have to be in a good place, you have to be super happy, you have to be in a super good mood, blah, blah, blah. That might help you, but it's not required. You can shift being in a not so good place. It's possible. I did it, so you're good. You don't have to eat healthy. You don't have to lay in starfish position. You can lay in any position you want. I recommend just picking a position that's most comfortable for you. Like, I usually try to shift on my stomach, definitely not starfish. Your limbs can touch, also. They can touch. You don't have to count either. That's just a way to, like, kind of tire out your mind in a way. You can also do this by saying affirmations or literally just, like, visualizing scenarios over and over. Another good way I like to do it is by, like, adding. If you're not good at that, then don't do that. But, instead of counting being like 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, 16 plus 16 is 32, etc., etc. And just go as high as you can until you can't do it anymore and then start over. But again, all of that's optional. You don't need a method to shift. You can use whatever method you want. You can mix methods together. You can shift literally with just intention. You don't need to follow a method. I recommend making your own method by combining things that you find work best for you and that are beneficial to you on your shifting journey. It's okay if your mind wanders while you're trying to shift. If you lose focus, it's okay. Just, get back on track and keep at it. You don't need to start over. You don't need to, it's okay. It's normal for your mind to wander. Everyone's mind wanders when they're trying to shift, I promise you. It's okay. You don't have to meditate before you try to shift. It can be beneficial, yes, and I honestly recommend it, but it is not required. It is not mandatory in order for you to shift. It's optional. Lastly, you don't need a script. Scripts are just to help you, to have a more organized, firm idea of where you want to go, but they're not required.